guys, Ash here coming at you today with a little bit of a strategy guide for GoVaLo updated for Town Hall 9. As you can see here, I have highlighted where the 4 air defenses are located on this base, and that's obviously the number one thing you're going to want to look for when targeting a base for GoVaLo. Depending on the specific base design, you're more often than not going to be looking for bases where you can at least take out 3 of the air defenses, preferably all 4 with the Valkyrie portion of your attack. So in today's episode, we're going to cover the strategy, breaking it down into 3 main steps. And step 1 is obviously creating the funnel for your Valkyries, because if the Valkyries go around the base and they don't hit those air defenses, the attack will inevitably fail. You can see Baby Dragon doing a lot of work here, maintaining the funnel and living on to clear out some of that splash damage. So the Baby Dragon, I'm actually finding a lot of valuable usage off of funneling with the Baby Dragon. But that's not what today's episode is about. Today's episode is about the GoVaLo. So step 2 is obviously taking out the air defenses once your Valkyries reach the core of the base. Now, you're using heal spells here. You're using either 2 or 3 heal spells, and that's going to be essential for keeping your Valkyries alive and taking down those air defenses. So step 3 is sprinkling in your balloons. After the air defenses have gone down, what you want to do here, and this is basically the tricky part of the attack, because up until now it's all spamming troops, creating the funnel, and spamming the troops into the core, right? So what you want to do is navigate around these wizard towers as if it was a GoLa attack. So you never want to send a big clump of balloons into splash damage, namely a wizard tower here. Now, Jacob kind of lucks out there. A few of his balloons went down, and actually all of his balloons are going to go down here, but he still has his heroes both alive as well, and a few wizards left to clean up. But ideally, what you want to do is surgically deploy the balloons around the base. That way they hit the point defenses. They can handle those, obviously, on their own, the cannons and the archer towers, but when they go to engage the wizard towers, you want to make sure you have some balloons saved for the backside as well. We'll see that illustrated over the next 2 replays even more acutely. So again here, a next replay by SSS from A Team 2. He's going to go ahead and use some wall breakers on the perimeter wall there. He still needs to bring 2 jump spells because to access all 4 of these air defenses, he's going to need 2 jump spells to get through the core of this base. So only 2 heal spells on this attack. You can see he has 10 balloons, and again, the air defense is all clumped up together. Now, when you're choosing where to engage the base from with this strategy, you do want to make sure that your number 1 priority, pretty obviously here, is to take down the queen, the clan castle troops, and have the easiest access to all 4 air defenses. Now, like I said, on some bases, you might only be able to access 3 of them. That's not the end of the world if you can choose how to strategically and surgically deploy your balloons from there on out on the back half of the attack. So one thing to note here, you can see SSS is delaying a little bit here. He wants to make sure all the splash damage and as much point damage as possible is distracted by the heroes and whatever's left in the core at this point. A few Valkyries, a Golemite or 2, and you can see that's beautiful because all his balloons actually stay alive here. And you'll want to note that he still has 2 balloons saved up to deploy up in the northeast there, you can see, to come around that air sweeper so those balloons aren't taking forever to get to the air sweeper in the remaining point damage around that area. So a very nice attack here by SSS. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about the strategy in general. Now that Valkyries are definitely at an all-time strength as far as the viability and offensive potency at Town Hall 9 and Town Hall 10, it's definitely a great idea. The first thing you should really do as a Town Hall 9 is, I know we all get in the habit, and I'm as guilty as anybody, but we get in the habit of being married to one type of strategy and then either A, trying to adjust our army based on the base that we have to attack, or B, even worse, we just kind of take a square peg and try to fit it into a round hole, and that's not the way to go. The first thing you should think of, and again, I need to take this lesson myself, but the first thing you should think of when looking at a base is, can I use balloons in an important role on this attack in place of maybe a few hogs, or use balloons altogether as you saw in the first 2 replays. Now this third replay is a GoVaHo low using hogs as well, and a very, very nice attack here, especially on the loon hog portion. You're going to see how SSS very craftfully uses the balloons to help negotiate the hogs around the obvious double giant bomb locations. So let me repeat that, and it will become much more obvious once we see it in a second here. Again, the Valkyries making their way to the core. He has 3 heal spells, so this shouldn't be an issue to keep the Valkyries alive, and then use another heal spell or 2 on the hogs. So again here, you're going to see it in just a second, and you can see a couple obvious double giant bomb locations at this point in the attack here, mainly in those 2 big compartments in the south. He's going to use some balloons, a couple on the mortar and a couple on the cannon. You can see where this red circle is right here. That's a double giant bomb location, and the hogs would otherwise route to that cannon that the balloons just destroyed. Instead now, the hogs are going to be able to, they do trigger one of those giant bombs, but the main force of those hogs stay alive to live on and take out the remaining splash damage and all merge together. That was beautiful right there. So if you see those double giant bomb locations and you're not sure exactly how to navigate it, think to yourself, could I use balloons in this attack to help make things a little bit easier on my hogs? Or if you're not using hogs at all, like the first 2 replays, how could I use balloons against this base? When you look at a base to GoVaHo, or if you look at a base to Mass Valk or Queen Walk, whatever you're doing, you should always think to yourself, if not adding 10 or more balloons, could I even add 4 balloons to help out on the perimeter defenses? So guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. It's going to be a quick one. I just wanted to revise the GoVaLo strategy. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.